'tis the freaking season
For
eggnog and more eggnog and eggnog flavored ice cream, which I had for the first time last night. And good Lord,
how was it?
it's basically just frozen eggnog. It's just like frozen eggnog, but it had like cinnamon and rum flavored ripple throughout it. Oh my gosh, man.
So because there's different ice cream flavors that are out there, but there's like, say, dill pickle ice cream. That's an interesting flavor mixed with ice cream, and some would argue if it works or not. But does the eggnog ice cream work?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, like you open it up, you smell it, you look at like the color of it, like I think it's just frozen nog is really all it is. Yeah, no, excellent, top notch. But 'tis the season for Christmas and other seasonal holidays. And 'tis the season for Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
And
Christmas and holiday movies sometimes, depending on, the movies can sometimes be kind of more wintry seasonally, but regardless, they're still seasonally appropriate.
Yep. And there's a lot of Christmas and holiday movies. And so it can be hard to know which ones are the best.
One might argue there's no way to know.
Well, I feel pretty good about the fact that my list is the definitive list, but that's neither here nor there. But hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast. I am Peter. That is Brady. And we are here today to try and not necessarily find out what the best holiday or Christmas movies are, but more so just to share what our top ones are, as you can tell by the title of the episode, where we'll go through some personal favorites of ours. Some might be expected, anticipated. Some might be off the grid, so to speak. But I am very excited about this. These episodes are a fun way for the listener to get to know us, for us to get to know each other, and maybe to get off on some bunny trails to talk about something that just comes up randomly.
Yeah. So I don't know. So we'll each say our number 5. We'll each say our number 4, number 3, and then we've got some honorable mentions, and then we'll talk about what we watched in the last week, and then we'll send you off to go dance with sugar plums and and things of the like. So, without further ado, are you ready?
Very.
We have not discussed who goes first.
No,
we're unprepared.
What are you feeling?
I don't know. How would you like to proceed?
All right, I can lead things off.
All right.
All right. At number 5, working our way forward. Number 5, I've got the 2006 film, The Holiday. Now,
this is appropriate because you were just talking about films that are holiday films and maybe somewhat appropriate, but not actually Christmas movies. So, I
don't know how I feel about that. I think it's Christmas related enough. But
certainly not Christmas related enough for our voters over the last 3 years, but that's neither here nor there. And I will poke fun at you and obliterate your hopes and dreams much more when we come to actually record that episode.
It's a voting option that gets such a strong response and never wins. Like, it's so like, I was scrolling back through all our Twitter or Instagram votes. And it seems like every Christmas, it's a voting option. So we've had like probably 6 Christmas episodes, and I think it's been a voting option in like 4 or 5 of them. And the reason it keeps coming back is because it gets a strong response, and yet just doesn't quite win.
It's definitely become the underdog of our Christmas votes. That just has not yet. The climax where the underdog succeeds has just not happened yet.
Yeah. But there's not a whole lot to say with The Holiday. Is it perfect? No, I will be the first to admit it's got its limitations, but it's heartwarming. It's funny and cute, and it's entertaining enough that it brings you back, maybe not every Christmas to watch, but every other Christmas. And, it's got a lot of stars in it. You got Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, and as was pointed out to me by a mutual friend of the show, Emily, you got Jack Black, who has a pretty unique role in this film compared to some of his other roles. I'd say King Kong 2005 is a superior role for him, but I would say they're both cut of the same cloth of unique roles, kind of contrast to what he had been in prior to this, and are good, heartwarming roles, or at least in this case, it's heartwarming. He's kind of a scumbag in King Kong, but he plays dynamically different roles than what we're used to. So, you know, I watched The Holiday. It's corny, but it still has its moments, and it's entertaining and fun and light. And you walk away from it going, yeah, that was corny, but I feel a bit happier about the world right now.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. What do you have at number 5?
So my number 5, I messaged you earlier today and I said, I have a surprise on my list. And you took a guess, and your guess was not the film that I was referring to when I said I have a surprise. My surprise for you, and this was something, listen, I struggled with this. I've debated this because I wanted to rule out a recency bias, because there's a very real thing. Right. Okay. It's like, we talk about that all the time. Like when we came, you know, we'll come out of a Star Wars movie or an MCU movie, and the initial response is, well, I think this is my favorite one. And you're like, but I gotta sit with it for a bit because it's too fresh. It's too fresh for me to be able to say that.
Yeah.
So I've sat with this for a little bit now because I wanted to analyze it and really figure out, like, is this an accurate contender for my number 5 slot, or is it just so recent that I'm like, you know, this is the best thing ever? No. My number 5 slot is a film that I saw for the first time like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my surprise, is that it's I watched a Christmas movie and then analyzed it and rewatched parts of it on YouTube and got myself to the point where I was able to say, yes, this is worthy of a slot.
I've never heard such stranger things.
Right? My number 5 top Christmas movie is Spirited.
Oh,
the Ryan
wait,
Reynolds,
what?
Will Ferrell Christmas movie.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
No. Listen, we sat down to watch it, and I'm not a big Will Ferrell person.
No, okay.
But he's fantastic in this. Like, it's you know, I would say, and I know what a hot topic this is, but I would say it's the best Will Ferrell Christmas movie.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yep,
wow,
beating
that
out
is
Elf.
a hot take. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it has Ryan Reynolds, so no wonder.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a take on, it's sort of a not a parody. It tries to take the tale of A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And flips it on its head, right? So without any spoilers, like what they kind of give you in the trailer is that the whole sort of operation that happened to Ebenezer Scrooge, that is real. That was a real tale that happened.
Okay.
And those ghosts, this operation, kind of went into business after that, and they have picked a jerk every Christmas ever since and done the same thing. They're in the redeeming jerks business. Right? and so, you know, 2022 comes along and Ryan Reynolds is the CEO of this basically like a public relations firm, PR advertising type firm that plays pretty dirty and you know, sort of orchestrates scandals and feuds and all in the name of like boosting revenue for people, and like he's scum, right? Yep. And yeah, he gets visited by 3 ghosts, and you know, there's some really amazingly fun twists. But what caught me off guard the most is like, so it's a musical.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple of songs in it where it's just someone, you know, walking around their office, singing, looking out the window, kind of a bit of a ballad type thing. But the big musical numbers in this movie, which there's like 4 or 5 of them, are not only musical numbers, but like dance numbers. And dance numbers in such a way that all of a sudden the camera is, whatever set they're in, whether it's an office building or it's the street or whatever it is, the number of dancers, like the thing becomes a Broadway musical all of a sudden. In that the dancers are there's a lot of tap, like in unison, like think kind of Hamilton in a lot of ways, with like the synchronized, 15 people doing the same moves.
Right.
And so that happens, and all of a sudden, like during that number, the camera angles will only be from the fourth wall forward. So it looks, and it's not shot like, all of a sudden it's not shot like a movie would be shot. It's shot like a filming of a stage adaptation. And they'll have stage lighting, and all of us, they'll have actual stage lighting that you can see, and there'll be the balconies that people will be hanging off of on the sides, singing, balconies in the street or whatever. They'll cut to like close-ups of them, and there's lights mounted to it, and there's like cables being run and stuff. Like it's like all of it is just becomes a Broadway show.
That's cool.
And then that ends, and we're back into the movie that's shot like a normal cinematic adventure. Anyways, this movie took both Brianne and I by surprise. I was looking forward to it.
Sure.
The trailers looked fantastic. But it totally blew my expectations out of the water. I highly recommend it. We're going to watch it probably at least once more before December's over.
Sure.
It is, if you like musicals, if you like musical theater specifically, like Broadway style, Hamilton level musical theater, and a fun sort of completely new spin on a Charles Dickens tale.
Interesting.
This movie is totally for you. Totally for you. It's so good. It is so good. So my number 5 slot is Spirited.
There's a lot to break down there, because that all sounds really interesting. And I'm looking at the cast list, and it looks equally as interesting. This explains a reel that I saw on Instagram of Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell dancing together, like in a rehearsal, and now I understand what they were rehearsing for.
Yeah. And Will Ferrell can, none of them are like Emmy winners,
sure.
But Will Ferrell can sing.
Good for him.
Like they're singing in it, and I'm like, I don't hate the sound of his voice singing.
That's respectable.
And they're not like easy songs. They're Broadway level musical numbers.
And that's a very fun twist on a film, because I can only think of maybe like 1 or 2 films that do that kind of, let's make this into a stage production. And it's just the 2012-ish or 2011 Anna Karina with a lot of notable names. But it's a very different tone of a film, like very somber, very depressing. Yeah. Not an uplifting Christmas or holiday themed film. And my point is, it's a very unique film decision, but it's not done a lot. Yeah. No, it's man. I implore you to watch it, and when you do, I look forward to hearing from you. Sure, and I'm interested in it as well. Those are my first 2 thoughts on it. My third will be interested to hear if it holds up. Like if next Christmas
I feel the same. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it very just sort of weeding out that recency bias.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool. All right, on to number 4. And for me, number 4 is Home Alone 2. Obviously, everyone's familiar with Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. all the cats and dogs who are in that film. It's a cliche answer, but it's a good one. And I really enjoy number 2. I would almost even put it over number 1. But I didn't. Or at least not in this case. Yeah, giving away some spoilers there. Ooh. I think what does Home Alone 2 in for me is there's just a little bit of a bit or sequence with the Wet Bandits that goes a bit too far, involving electrocution.
I was just gonna say,
and it just I love some of the themes in Home Alone 2 even more than the original, and I like some of the
turtle doves and
some of the heartwarming moments, and even just the backdrop of being in Manhattan, just because
and Tim Curry.
And absolutely. And so just there's some elements to number 2, and I'm not going to give away about number 1, but just the things that separate it and differentiate it. And as a sequel, it's great. But there's just some things, like I said, that just kind of leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth going, that's still a good movie, still in my top 5, still enjoy it, but it's not quite at the top. Just some things that make, if you've had food recently, it just unsettles your stomach. So,
fair.
Still solid. Still enjoy it. Number 4, Home Alone 2.
All right. My number 4 is a film that you and I have reviewed in the past, a winner of a previous Christmas vote.
Interesting.
And that's Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes. If it's not our first seasonal film that we reviewed, it was in the first year that we were doing
It's pretty
podcast.
early on, yeah.
It's an OG episode.
Yeah. This, I mean, it's just so iconic, right? Whether it's the light with all the house, or the light with all the houses, the house with all the lights on it, or the drinking the eggnog out of the moose glasses, or, Cousin Eddie, the iconic, Merry Christmas, shitters full line, or, just like, there's so much for me about this film that is iconic and wonderful, and I don't know, it just like, it goes back to an era of comedy that we don't really have a lot of anymore. Some pretty wild things happen in it, but it's just like, it's a Christmas comedy centered around one family, mostly takes place within the house, right? Like it's just this, and then the neighbors, right? Why is the stereo all wet, Margot? I don't know, right? Like, it's so, I don't know. Christmas Vacation, it's one I grew up with, probably from an age younger than really I should have been watching it.
Sure.
But I blame my mom for that. And
you're not alone. I think a lot of kids grew up with it.
I'll get a message in the next 48 hours from her. Like, she's like, I don't think you were that young when you saw, or like something. She'll try to defend herself.
And you'll just say, thanks for listening, Ma.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Mom. Christmas Vacation, man. It's one I look forward to every year. I never get sick of watching it. It never fails to make me laugh out, like have visceral laugh out loud moments. Yep. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's, I think something that it does so well, something that, that nothing else on my list really taps into, is as ridiculous and over the top as it is, so much of the film is a sort of exaggerated parody kind of commentary on the average dysfunctional family Christmas. And there's bits and pieces in it, whether it's the squabbling of family when the family shows up, or it's the overcooking of the turkey, like whatever it is, there are moments in this film that to some extent most of us can draw from their own personal past Christmases and go, yeah, okay, yep, that's kind of how it went in my house too, right? Like just moments of it, not the whole, like obviously if this whole film is a representation of your Christmases, then that's But maybe it was, your dad cussing and swearing while he was trying to unravel Christmas lights and figure out which bulb was causing none of them, It's just little thing, or going with the family to go cut down the tree and freezing as you're, trouncing through the field to go find the perfect, there's something in this that I think is relatable to everybody. And that's what makes it, I think that's what gives it the warm, fuzzy Christmas feeling for me. So yeah, number 4 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's a fair and solid point. I was talking with someone briefly about their favorite Christmas films because I was trying to use them as a soundboard and say, did I forget anything? Or, what is a common one? And that is one that came up. And I get why people bring it up. Like, you described a scene to me and I laughed out loud. It's got moments that I find funny. I just didn't grow up with it. And so I'm just not the biggest fan of it. And that's just me. I would admit that I think I'm an outlier because I think a lot of people not only like it, but it's one of those, hey, it's Christmas time, let's throw it on the TV and all have a good laugh together. And that's just not me, but I totally get where people are coming from.
Now, you did just say something that I want to comment on,
please,
which was the looking at lists. And I made a note to say this at the beginning of the episode and I didn't.
Sure.
My list, in the past when we've done top whatever, I'm scouring lists on the internet and I'm I want to make sure I'm not forgetting something and so on and so forth. I didn't do that this time and I didn't do it very intentionally. Because I wanted this list, instead of going through and finding out okay, oh yeah, I forgot about that Christmas movie. That Christmas movie is actually really fantastic for a lot of reasons, like X, Y, and Z. I wanted my list to be, if someone says you have 5 Christmas movies you can watch this year.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What are the 5 that immediately, what does my heart tell me?
Yes.
What are the ones, because whatever ones are going to pop into my head, whatever ones I'm going to feel anxious about if I don't get a chance to watch it, those are the ones on the list. And then once I have those 5, then I just need to figure out the order. And it was easy. I started with number 1 and I'm okay, if I can only watch one, what's it going to be? Okay, if I get a chance to watch a second one, what is it going to be? Right?
It's a very heart-based, bias-based, emotional-based list, but that's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be an intellectual conversation of saying, you know what, the Scrooge McDuck Christmas special is a
this
real...
one won an award. And
it's no, if you only have one night, what's one film you're going to watch? Okay, maybe if you have 2 nights, what 2? Yeah, and that's exactly our point with this, and it's a good point. It's
sweet.
It's very, very emotional based.
Yeah.
All right, and at number 3, I have, let me just see what year it came out. I've got a movie, it's in black and white, and it's a musical romance. It's from 1942, and it's called Holiday Inn. It's got a few people in it. I've
never heard of it.
Yeah, I am so happy about that. It's got Bing Crosby.
Your number 3 slot. Holy crap.
My number 3 slot. It's it's got Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire. Those would be the mainstays, the iconic names in the film.
I think I've heard of them.
It's a bit of a cheat. I mean, it's literally it's a musical, and they've got a musical component that is about most holidays. So there's if we were having our top Easter movies, I maybe could have used this film. If we were having our top 4th of July movie, it's not exclusively Christmas, but it's got some iconic Christmas moments, and it's centered around the Christmas holiday and New Year's holiday. And it's a movie that I watch at Christmas time. So it's therefore on this list, and it's number 3. I enjoy it, one, because I've grown up with it, and it's something I've continued to watch with friends and family, and I love it just from a sentimental perspective, but I've also grown to love it kind of from an intellectual, a theoretical, out of principle perspective, just because you've got these 2 iconic stars at the time with Fred Astaire being kind of like the king of dance and Bing Crosby, the singer, like, and they both are like the champions or the gold standards of their craft, and you have them combining, and even their characters are playing off those motifs of like just kind of conflicting with each other, and you've got a bit of a love triangle at times with them kind of just trying to compete for the same love interest. So you've got something that I feel is like iconic of Hollywood at the time, mixed with a seasonal, heartwarming story. And it's just got great musical numbers, iconic musical numbers. And, it's from the 40s, so there's tropes that maybe haven't aged completely well, but it is from the 40s, and, it is what it is. But it's still a staple in my house, and that is one that, without a doubt, is watched at least once every December. And it can be a bit before Christmas. It can even be leading up to New Year's, but it is watched, and that is number 3 on my list.
That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I feel like I feel a duty to check this out now.
A Call of Duty.
Yeah.
What is your number 3?
Okay, my number 3 is the first Home Alone.
Oh, right on, bro.
Like, I don't know. If you have a top 5 Christmas movie list and either Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2 don't make the list, you need to revise your list. Right? I mean, it's what can I say that hasn't already been said about Home Alone?
Sure.
Right? It's iconic. Whereas like some movies out there that some people might say, and not to pick on you, but like The Holiday would be an example.
Yep.
There is this isn't a Christmas movie. No one can say that, right?
Yep.
Like it is Christmas through and through. The family's away for Christmas. He's setting up the Christmas tree. It happens. The big showdown happens Christmas Eve. Like, it's just through and through. It's a Christmas film. But I mean, Joe Pesci and something. I was going to say Howard Stern, but it's definitely not Howard Stern. Something Stern. What's no.
Yeah. It's Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern. Yeah. Like, obviously Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Catherine
O'Hara.
John
Candy.
John yeah.
Like,
I didn't realize. I'm looking at the IMDb list, and I didn't realize Macaulay Culkin's brother played one of the McAllister cousins. Yeah,
plays the cousin that's going to wet the bed because he drank too much.
Oh, that's him. I wasn't sure which cousin. Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of that. You've got the fact that it's a John Hughes film, directed by Chris Columbus.
Right.
Like, it is, composed by John Williams. Mm-hmm. Like, what? The music alone, like how many, you'll see this all the time in Hollywood where, they've released a trailer for something, but the score for that film, it's the first trailer and the score of that film isn't out yet. So they like borrow the score from a different movie. For that first trailer. The theme for this is something that's been borrowed 100 times. And unlike other films in this Christmas list, like, you could play music from Christmas Vacation and people are like, oh yeah, it sounds Christmassy. You could play music from any of these other films and you're like, yeah, it's a Christmas song, The Home Alone, in terms of like Christmas music, I would say the Home Alone theme song is like up there in the same category as like the Nutcracker Suite. Like it is just so, it instantly transports you to the night of Christmas Eve and something's afoot and it's just like, I don't know, man. Home Alone, it is, it's iconic.
It is.
It's just so iconic. You can't, like it or dislike it. And I know a couple people who dislike it, and somehow I'm still their friends. I don't think Emily Mader likes Home Alone.
That sounds familiar.
I think she only saw it for the first time in the last couple of years.
That sounds familiar.
And I think she would argue. I think she would argue that it's not a Christmas movie.
This all sounds familiar, and I'm having like deja vu of like rage. Not actual rage, but just concern.
It's literally one of those "I love you anyways" kind of things for me. Yeah. But yeah, Home Alone is iconic. It's funny. It's got great morals and like messages in it. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of like the perfect coming together of all the different things.
I thought you were going to say coming of age story.
Well,
maybe. I don't know about that.
He realizes he's Kevin McAllister's certainly got growth.
Of course.
In the film, right? He comes out realizing that you shouldn't wish your family away.
Mm-hmm. Until you do it again a couple of years later.
Until you do it the next Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, in my number 3 slot is the 1990 film Home Alone.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. My number 2 slot will be a brief one because it is also Home Alone. And for many of the reasons you said. And like I said, I had some trouble deciding where I would rank Home Alone 2 and Home Alone 1. And, Home Alone 2, it's got an iconic cast, like you said, and that would be a leg up on Home Alone 1. You would think Rob Schneider, I forgot to mention him. He's in the second one. Tim Curry, you mentioned that. All the carryovers. The nice thing that at this point in the series, they didn't lose a lot of carryovers. The Wet Bandits all came back and Mom and Dad came back. And I think that something I found unique about Home Alone 2 is the backdrop of New York is so different than the first one. Because the first one takes place in Chicago, but it really could have taken place, in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's just a residential home and a boy who's home alone. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But New York spins it. Why I put Home Alone number 1 ahead is, we talked about what turned me off that moment in Home Alone 2. But the soundtrack is the OG soundtrack. So although they're both great, they're both iconic, Home Alone 1 came first. And the final thing that I'll stop on here is the John Candy element in Home Alone 1. Because it is a cameo role in a way, like it's not a role that he's in it throughout the film, but he's in it.
No.
And he's hilarious and he's heartwarming at the same time. And he's a Canadian icon, so that tickles our funny bone a little bit. And I just love his sequences and his bits and this transitional point where the mom is just distraught as any mother would be in that situation. And in a comedy where you do as a screenwriter, as a director, as etc., you try and find the balance of how do I keep this light? How do I keep this fun? With still keeping the accuracy of a parent who's distraught and who's going through this. And I find John Candy is just a great balance, and he's just so great in that role. And so that's why, all those reasons, I put Home Alone 1 just a smidge above, and it is my number 2. Like it said, it's iconic, and quite clearly it is, as we both put it in our top 5. And we both grew up with it. That helps, too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. My number 2 slot.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an interesting one because it's one that I don't want to say too much. I kind of need to spread out the information that I have for this one.
Interesting.
My number 2 all-time Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Is The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, interesting.
It's got great music. It's a film that is dedicated to Jim Henson. It's the first Muppets film since the passing of Jim Henson.
Oh, interesting.
You've got all your original fantastic cast and the addition of Michael Caine. Michael Caine. Right? Yeah. And here's the thing. And this was something I sat down. It's interesting that I have at least 2 Scrooge-related entries in my list.
Yep.
And it's something that kind of got me thinking, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, that's really fascinating. And I was like, I really enjoy, like, unless it was really awful, I think you could put any rendition of A Christmas Carol in front of me and I would be like, how do you not just think this is great? You know, it's like the iconic. So, but here's the thing. I couldn't find an up-to-date accurate number, and obviously this number has gone up by a couple anyways. But as of 2016, taking into account films, TV shows, TV movies, and the like, there are 135 adaptations of A Christmas Carol.
That's wild.
135.
Oh, man.
And in what world do we live in where many people, not everyone, certainly, but many people, and as a result, an argument could be made that this is true. At least, I mean, it's always going to be a subjective thing. But
of course.
What world do we live in where there's 135 adaptations of a Charles Dickens classic? Right next to like the Nativity Story, arguably the most well-known Christmas story out there. And an argument could be made, and many, many, many people would make an argument, that out of the 135 plus adaptations that's been done, the best one that we've gotten is the one that the Muppets did.
That's a bold statement for sure. For sure.
It's a bold statement. Like I said, I'm almost certain that you would not agree. I'm
not sure I would disagree for the sake of the argument, but I know what you're saying.
But it's interesting. Like you at least you at least can concede that it's certainly a contender. That it would
It's not like saying Titanic 2 is the best film ever made about
the best Titanic film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's like okay, like, you know, if I can't get on board with it being the best, I can't say that it's not in the top 10, in the top 5.
You can absolutely have a discussion about it. Like it makes you think.
Okay. So then the way I'll say it, I'll revise it and I'll say in the conversation of the greatest adaptation of A Christmas Carol with 135 plus adaptations, the Muppets at least have a seat at the table. They're in the room. And it's so mind-blowing to me that that's I think it's the best Muppets film that we have. And yeah, it just like, it warms my heart from start to finish. It's more of a bare bones, like being a Muppets thing. It's not the longest Christmas Carol that we have. And it certainly bypasses some parts of bypasses some of the locations that each ghost takes him to.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes longer is not better. I'm in no way am I saying this improves on the story of Christmas Carol. No. You know.
Yep.
But the Muppets Christmas Carol is just, for me, in terms of Christmas, Muppets, and A Christmas Carol, it's perfection. It is perfection. So my number 2 slot is The Muppets Christmas Carol, which, letting the cat out of the bag, we're going to review in like a week's or 2 weeks' time, having once again beaten out The Holiday. Even the Muppets beat out The Holiday. Man. Actually, to add insult to injury. Add insult to injury. Let me pull up the numbers here because I know it didn't beat it. Let me pull up the numbers here because I don't want to make a statement that's going to make me seem like I haven't done my homework. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Man, you and I talk too much. Okay. Listen. It wasn't a huge margin that The Holiday beat out Ernest P. Worrell by. It definitely beat it. but not by a huge margin.
Sure.
So I just, I'm excited. I'm excited to see The Holiday lose again next year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Oh, man. It's still fun to see it get a good response.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My final top 5, otherwise known as number 1, is a film that there's a carryover between a previous film that was on my list. At number 1, I have another musical romance from 1954 this time. And the carryover is Irving Berlin. It is White Christmas, starring Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, related to George Clooney distantly. I forget how they're either cousins or aunts or something like that. And
George Clooney is the aunt. Yeah, I did read that somewhere.
And rounded out by Vera Ellen. So again, a lot of things played into this decision. One, this has been, I've grown up with it, and it's a tradition that's continued. So obviously the sentimental component is there, and it's a musical, so it's fun, but because of the time period it came out, it's post-war, and it's very quaint, it's very simple, and it's very heartwarming. It's not overly complex. It's just two guys who are friends, and they are meet in the army. After during the army, they say, you know what? If we get out of this, let's become musical talents. Let's do something we love. They get out of the war. They become singers and dancers, traveling the country as quite a famous duo. And then they meet a pair of sisters, and they're both conveniently romantically interested in separate sisters. It's not like they're both interested in the same one, but it's just simple and quaint. They all end up at a ski resort together, and it's just, a couple hours of, heartwarming moments of these guys doing empathetic things to the old army general who owns the inn, and they're also wanting to win over the affections of these women, and it's just got fun musical numbers. The choreography's great. There's a song specifically kind of breaking the third wall here about choreography, and again, like I said, it's very simple, it's quaint, so it doesn't try to do too much because of what they're trying to talk about and the post-war era. And it makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, and you go, hey, you know what? This is a fun film, and it is watched at least once yearly, sometimes twice, and it's growing. I can already see it growing in our family. Sometimes I'll play some of the musical numbers, whether it actually be on a television screen or on the Google Puck in the kitchen, and my 3-year-old dances up a storm to it. So the generation has legs, so to speak, or the tradition has legs and is growing into the next generation, so to speak. So that is a personal favorite of mine, quite easily number 1 of all the films on this list that kind of edged and ebbed and flowed and moved around a bit and was nipped and tucked. This was always at number 1, and it stayed there. White Christmas, nice. 1954.
Nice. Mm-hmm. I like it.
And I also and it's in color, which is a big difference. I don't mind the black and white of Holiday Inn, but just the vibrant colors that are used also as costume pieces and set pieces and dresses and attire also is just a fun film.
Cool.
Now, what is your number 1?
So if you've been listening to our show for any period of time, my number 1 should be no surprise to anyone. Do you dare to venture a guess?
Well, I'm actually now I'm overthinking it because I'm I have no idea. I'm trying to think here because I'm looking. Okay, so you've done Home Alone, you've done Muppets, you've done Christmas Vacation, you've done Spirited. I think that the only thing that is left for you would be Die Hard.
Yeah. Not happening.
Is it?
For me, this was a no-brainer. This was the one that I didn't have to do any shuffling for.
Right. Yeah.
Because for me, and I aside from I've made all my arguments for this movie before. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's not Christmas Eve unless I'm watching the 2000 Jim Carrey Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't explain it. Like, it's a combination of The Grinch being another iconic Christmas story.
Mm-hmm.
This being my favorite rendition of it.
Yep.
The world that they create, the fact that, like, for me, the closer you get to Christmas, the more, like, earlier on in the Christmas season, you can watch, like, Ben Affleck Surviving Christmas, and you can watch, like, all these other things. The closer you get to Christmas, the more Christmas magic needs to be sort of a part of the movie that you're watching.
Mm.
Right? So that's when something like Christmas with the Cranks would come in.
Yep.
Because you get, like, that guy at the end that's like, I think that's the real Santa. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it does not get much more magical than just the world that Ron Howard created in his Whoville. And yeah, I can quote the whole movie. Like, it's irritating to watch with me because I know every line and I am often saying them out loud. And yeah, for me, it's just iconic. Like, there is no other, I'm not flexible when it comes to what I'm watching Christmas Eve. The rest of the year, or rest of the Christmas season, holiday season, yeah, okay, well, yeah, sure, we'll watch that. We'll watch this other one some other night. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
The last thing that I watch before I go to bed Christmas Eve, in order to instill all of that, like, warm, fuzzy childhood Christmas magic feeling, is this film. So it's got to be my favorite because it's the only one that's like, I'm not willing to waver on. It's the only one that I'm like, years have gone by where I don't, not many, but years have gone by where I don't get around to watching Home Alone.
Yes. Yep.
Years have gone by where I don't get around to watching The Muppets Christmas Carol. Those are sad, depressing, dismal years, but it happens. But you'd be hard pressed to find a year where I'm not squeezing in The Grinch, man. And if that year does happen, I wake up the next morning and I'm just like, I'm not into it, and I don't know why. I don't feel it. I don't feel the magic.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
very good.
That's my number one. What talk to me about some honorable mentions though. What almost made your list?
Yeah, I'll run through them quick because there's about 7. The Grinch 2018 was a solid pick, but that was the very bottom. Next up, the next up was The Snowman 1982. Not necessarily Christmas per se, but wintry, and it always was on at Christmas, at least in my house, and I found it a little depressing as a kid, so that's why I didn't make it into my top 5. If I don't watch it and I don't cry as a result of it, then that's probably for the best. 12th, I put Die Hard. A solid movie, a Christmas movie. I will argue till I'm blue in the face, but it's not a movie that I need to watch every year, just on occasion. 11th was Christmas.
All right, well, thanks for listening.
11 was Christmas with the Cranks. I've never been in the Tim Allen Christmas movie fan camp, and it's not out of protest. It's just I didn't grow up with the films. But that's a heartwarming one that I have grown up with now, I guess, over the last 10 years, more in my adult years, and I've gotten an appreciation for it. Number 10 is the 1966 The Grinch. Number 9 was Jingle All the Way, which I grew up with, which...
Put the cookie down!
But oh man, we could have a whole podcast with quotable lines for that movie. It is so good. And just as a side note, I feel like that was the only film I was exposed to of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so when I thought of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I thought, okay, 99% of his movies are him just doing like action and flexing muscles and whatever. And then there's like the one film where he just plays like a normal dad and a normal guy. And then when we watched, what was that movie with Jamie Lee Curtis? Oh, it's a spy movie. We reviewed it.
True Lies.
Carl Easton's going to kill me for not remembering it. True Lies. Lies. When I saw True Lies and some other things that I'm hearing from other films that he's in, it's an appreciation now for Arnold going, hey, like there's this other side of Arnold that he's been in movies 20, 30 years ago that I personally just need to discover and that are fun. But regardless, Jingle All the Way, fun, grown up with. Number 8, Elf. When I saw it in theaters 20 years ago, I thought it was mid at best. And for the first 10 years, I thought it was pedestrian. And then I started warming up to it. And now it's kind of, I'm okay with it. It's not the best, obviously. It's just a runner-up. But it's at the point where if someone's watching it and I'm walking by, I'll stop and sit with them till it's over. I've come to appreciate its sentimental elements.
It's always fallen in the same category for me as like Avatar.
Oh, so
it's good. It's I can acknowledge that it's good, but I don't get the hype.
Yeah, and I definitely, as much as I've grown to appreciate it, I don't think it's the best or amazing, but it's adequate. It's adequate. Number 7 is a film that we reviewed 1 or 2 years ago with friend of the show Stefan called Love Actually. And some people might argue it's not Christmas per se, just holiday, and that's fine. But the star power in it, the heartwarming moments, the comedy, it touches a bit on everything that it appeals to a lot of different genres, a lot of different fans of those genres. So it's a fun movie.
I would say it's more Christmas than something like The Holiday.
Yeah, you could absolutely have that.
Right? They're like Christmas shopping. There's like a Christmas recital. Like it's...
Yep. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. And then my number 6 is the what I'll really hang my hat on that really almost made the list is there's a couple TV shows. And so you get a unique opportunity with long-standing sitcoms. So not like a show that lasted a year or two, but a year that lasted, The Office was a long time, maybe 6, 7, 8 seasons, and Frasier was 11 seasons. So when you've got two shows that combined like 18 years, or I'm trying to do math, so 11 plus 8, 18 or 19 years of screen time, you have almost a dozen Christmas feature episodes of those said shows. And so I'm counting that as my final runner-up. I do find that there's Christmases where I'll watch all the Christmas episodes of The Office, or I'll watch all the Christmas episodes of Frasier. And again, because of this unique opportunity where there are like so many seasons, when you've got like 5 or 6 episodes of Christmas themed story, it is almost of the equivalent of content that a Christmas movie would be. Like you've got a couple hours for each show. So believe it or not, that is what the highest runner-up was for me. Office-themed episodes of Frasier and Christmas. Or sorry, not Frasier and Christmas. Frasier and The Office. Both iconic shows for me. Both fun shows for me. And I do find myself watching them at the Christmas holiday season. What made your runner-up list? And there better be one in there, because I was surprised it didn't make it in there. So I'll be interested to hear.
And I think I know what it is, and it's not in there.
Okay. Okay.
Simply because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Does that track so far?
So far.
But it's, and I would argue that it's a Christmas movie, but I don't know that I've ever watched it at Christmas. It's so watchable all year round. Whereas, if it's August and you're watching Jim Carrey's Grinch, it doesn't feel right. So that one, I'm assuming we're talking about Edward Scissorhands. Yeah. No, it didn't make the list, and neither did Nightmare Before Christmas. Just because, I was like, I could watch those anytime.
Sure.
Anytime.
Sure.
And they're not. It doesn't feel wrong to me if Christmas comes and goes, and I haven't given them a thought. What is interesting about sort of our two lists here is that some of yours, many of yours, are films that you didn't necessarily grow up with, that you discovered as an adult, right? Things like the The Office, right?
Sure.
You weren't 5 and watching that.
No.
The Holiday, right?
Yep.
Whereas, with the exception of Spirited, which I just saw like 3 days ago, nothing on my list. All of my runner-ups are childhood movies.
Interesting.
And so was the rest of like my main list. So I find that interesting. That like for me, a Christmas movie is like something I grew up with. And I think, again, it's all like Christmas movies to me are about like harking back to and recapturing that childhood Christmas magic. So my runner-ups, in no specific order at all, I didn't bother trying to order these, are Ernest Saves Christmas.
Which has always been a voting option. Like, it's obviously something that you've held dear, and I've been very curious about it.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, I recommend it. Even if you're not an Ernest fan, it is it stands pretty solid as a Christmas film. The first, The Santa Claus.
Oh,
It is the best of the Santa Claus movies. It's the more adult, takes itself a little more seriously. The humor is a little more adult oriented. And it's just good. It's iconic. And how much more Christmas magic can you get than a guy that, takes over the job of Santa and has to convince the other adults that, he's not crazy and that he is actually, even though he himself is finding it hard to believe, he is Santa Claus. So that's on there. Home Alone 2.
Oh, right, because it didn't make your top 5, right?
It didn't make my top 5.
Yeah.
But Home Alone 2, for all the same reasons. I think what nudges it out, honestly, is the like it being thrown into the realm of, okay, this is no longer feasible because of that electrocution scene.
Right?
Like, it's such a black mark on an otherwise amazing film.
Right.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
It's the Christmas party you're at, and someone takes a joke too far, and then everyone feels uncomfortable, and you're like,
okay,
come on,
I even bought it. Like, his hair puffs up at first, and you're like, okay, that's a little tacky, but I'm still there for it. And then he's just a skeleton with an afro, and you're like,
what's happening? What are we doing here?
Explain to me.
What? Like,
his
what
clothes haven't caught fire, but his skin has disintegrated.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Then I have Michael Keaton's Jack Frost movie.
Wow. Okay.
Which I will admit, having watched it as an adult, it's not great. Like, it's not a great film. But even though it's not great, it is if you kind of just like suspend the looking for a good film part of you, it'll if you let it will really tug on the heartstrings, right? It's dealing with the loss of his dad and having to let go, and like it strangely hear me out. I assume you've seen it.
I don't think I have. I've maybe started it. I vaguely remember some Michael Keaton bits of it.
It's kind of like a weird, silly, Christmassy version of Ghost. Like, it hits a lot of the same beats that Ghost does.
Oh,
Someone who dies at the beginning of the film, but doesn't, like, kind of sticks around in some capacity, and then at the end of the film needs to move on and sort of pass into the light.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I would if you haven't seen it, it's worth at least one watch. I mean, it's Michael Keaton, right?
Yeah.
That in and of itself would get you some points. But there's that. Then there's these last two are kind of just like clumped together. It's like it's sort of a broad, sort of like what your Office and Frasier thing was.
Yep.
It's the 1970s and 1960s claymation Christmas stuff. So The Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those... Yeah, they're just so, you'd be flipping through channels at Christmas and you come across it and you're a monster if you keep channel surfing, right? Like it's they're just, and again, it's something that should be watched like within the couple of days leading up to Christmas. right? Like it's not an early December thing.
No.
Right? It's a right close to Christmas, okay, the magic is building kind of thing. And then finally, I've just got some, again, so mine very similar to yours. I have TV specials, but mine aren't the same as yours. Again, this is a childhood-centric list. So these are things like the Garfield Christmas, and there's like a couple of Flintstones Christmas episodes, which I didn't grow up watching the Flintstones.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't grow up watching the Flintstones, but I grew up watching the Flintstones Christmas ones.
Yes.
Right, where like Fred's got to take over for Santa because Santa's injured or something.
Yeah, he like breaks his leg on the roof or something.
Yeah, and then there's another one where they're like putting on, there's like a Flintstones Christmas Carol episode, right, where they're putting on like a stage adaptation of it, and
to me that's the superior of the two, but they're both solid.
Yeah, so those to me, and the Garfield one and stuff like that. So those sort of like childhood 80s 90s animation, mostly 80s, cartoon Christmas TV special. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, so those are my lists. Those are my lists. Those are your lists.
Those are good lists.
I want to hear the listener's list.
Yes.
Having heard yours, I'm like, that's great, but we can do better than something that mentions Die Hard.
Hey.
Yeah, if we're going to throw non-Christmas movies into Christmas lists, then, anarchy's afoot. We might as well throw out the eggnog and start making margaritas. Like, I.
And the heated debate continues.
If you want to shit all over the holidays, that's your prerogative. Just leave me out of it.
I will do no such thing.
What'd you watch this week, man?
Okay. Looking back at my list here, I've got a bit of a backlog, so, I'm going to come across as a bit of a Grinch, because neither of the two things I'll talk about are Christmas related, but they are still things I watched, so I will talk about them. The first thing is I continue the Tom Cruise filmography journey that I am, just trying to discern, okay, what movies of his are good? Do I like him as an actor? Or, I do like him in certain movies, so where does the switch turn on and off? And, where do I like him, where do I not? Trying to get a finger on the pulse. I watched... Was
this inspired by having just done Mission Impossible?
No, I've been on.
Way? No,
it started with Top Gun 2, and I've just been slowly like one here, one there, kind of watching. So not all in a close period of time, but I've got a list, and I'm like slowly scratching ones off.
Okay, that's fair.
But I watched 1993's The Firm, and essentially Tom Cruise is a young lawyer.
Girl.
Like I said, he wants an Oscar.
I was just going to say, give this man an Oscar. Or at least a Golden Globe, I mean.
Right. But yeah, he plays a young lawyer, and he joins a prestigious law firm. But then things don't turn out to be what they seem. Different members of the firm go missing, and it turns out maybe this firm has some secrets that Tom Cruise isn't supposed to know, or at least isn't supposed to talk about. And so it's an interesting film where he's caught between being caught and between a rock and a hard place, but also having his morals of, if I blow a lid on something, I might lose my license, and I might do this and I might do that, and how do I balance this predicament and my relationship with my wife? I enjoyed it. It's based on a book. For some reason, there's a Tom Cruise movie that's based on a true story, and I thought this was it, and I went, wow, what a crazy true story. And then I did like 1 minute of Googling, and I'm like, yeah, that was not The Firm, my bad. But it was still a fun story based on a Grisham novel, I believe. But it's got Gene Hackman, it's got Ed Harris, it's got David as it would be pronounced, I guess, Strathern, and Wilford Brimley.
Wait, who? Jason Statham?
No, David Strathairn, I think it is.
Okay, well, it would have been better with Jason Statham.
He is not in that. He plays, the actor I'm talking about is in the Bourne Ultimatum. He's kind of an antagonist in that. But Wilford Brimley was in this. And this film is how I found out Wilford Brimley was actually an actor and not just in diabetes commercials on TBS.
Huh.
Yeah. But anyway, the Firm, I enjoyed it, and I didn't mind Tom Cruise. I wouldn't say he's in his best, but I enjoyed this film, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It was a good film. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was heavily, pumped up by Tom Cruise and my somewhat appreciation for him, and the 90s nostalgia. So those things worked for me. And then the other thing I watched this week was a much newer film about a much older event. I watched 2022's German film, All Quiet on the Western Front, the remake of the 1930s, somewhere in there, original. And it was produced and actually starred Daniel Bruhl, I think his name is, and I recognize him he's in The Bourne Ultimatum, and he's in Inglourious Bastards. But it was an interesting movie, obviously about the First World War, about a group of German boys and, how they join and they enlist with pride and with a sense of purpose to serve their country and earn the honor of their loved ones. And, is the age-old tale of this horrific war was, it was not a glorious thing. It was not a fun thing. It was horrid, where countless, like thousands upon thousands of people were dying, and just in horrendous ways. And, I guess in a nutshell, I thought this film was good. It was appropriate in conveying the horrors of war, and they actually had some very stylistic ways of doing some sequences that, specifically an opening sequence with some uniforms of soldiers that were taken from deceased soldiers and then recycled and given to new soldiers, and just the horrors of the attrition of the war, and just very cyclical nature of it, and just some iconic kind of neat some ways they told the story were interesting and fascinating. But I ended up giving it just a 6 out of 10. Within the last 6 months, I've watched 1917 again, and I do appreciate both films. I do appreciate films portraying World War I, because that's a war that I feel is not on a lot of film, in a lot of film, and it's kind of underrepresented. And I just felt 1917, visually, I think I enjoyed it more. Not just talking about the one long sequence and the acclaim that came with that, but I think just visually, like set and costume design and like color tones and camera angles of certain shots, and specifically like the nighttime visuals of flares at night. Visually, 1917, I think, just kind of was stuck in my mind, and this movie didn't quite live up to it. So it was fine. It was a good film. It was respectable, but I think it just fell a little bit short of 1917. So I gave 1917 a 7, so this had to get a 6. So still an interesting film. Still one of those ones that you scratch your head and go, wow, what a horrific time for a lot of people. And it was an interesting view regardless. What did you watch this week?
Some Christmas things, and I don't often do this, but I'm going to list some things that I watched for the podcast.
Please.
I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yes.
And I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big. It was big and good. I mean, it's Kevin Bacon.
He exists in the universe.
Yeah, what are you going to do? So I watched that. Last night we went to go see Violent Night, the David Harbour Santa Claus violent murder gore fest.
Interesting.
Yep. Review of that to come, so I'm not going to
give away too much.
I'm not going to drop the eggs on that just yet. That's a new saying I just came up with. I watched Spirited, as I have alluded to.
Yes. Yep.
I watched the animated Star Wars film, The Clone Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, like don't recommend.
So sorry, say that again. The
animated
like the
film. So there's the television show.
But okay.
Preluding the television show, there's like a like 90-minute pilot, basically.
Oh,
but it's a 90-minute pilot that got a theatrical release back in the day.
Oh.
Much to people's disappointment. If you treat it as a 90-minute episode of the show,
sure,
it's not garbage.
Okay.
If you paid $10 to go see it as a Star Wars film, you were sorely disappointed.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I have not seen that animated series, but it is pretty well received overall, is it not?
Yeah, I think so. I would say so.
It's a show. It's a show.
The impression I've gotten. Yep. And then following such, I've started working through the show. So I'm a good chunk of the way through season 1. Them being like 21, 22-minute episodes. It's pretty easy to like knock a couple out in a day.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been interesting. It's the early Clone Wars, like the series ultimately, and this is like well known because it was a big deal. The series is ultimately going to wrap up with like Order 66 and stuff that was going on at the time. And that's something that really interests me. The early and sort of mid years of the Clone Wars, I don't care a whole lot, but it is still fun. And it's giving a lot of backstory to stuff that I was otherwise unfamiliar with or new. Like, there's a lot of things from the show that I know, right? Like, the fact that Darth Maul doesn't actually die in The Phantom Menace and he gets robotic legs and stuff like that. That was a revelation of the Clone Wars series.
Right. Which is wild. I mean,
which is wild. I but so I haven't, Palpatine survived, right? So this isn't like it's something that I haven't seen yet. I haven't gotten to that part of the show and something that I've never seen in the show, but was something that I was aware of. So kind of now going through and being like, okay, let's get caught up and actually see the how and the why and the sort of the ripple effect of these events. It's been fun. Yeah, it's been fun. So that's it. I think that's it.
Very cool.
That's all I've watched. Pretty sure.
It's a respectable list of things.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, the ever onslaught of like random, useless, mind-numbing YouTube videos and whatever else.
As one does.
So, So wrap this up for us, sir.
Sure. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And like Brady said, if you weigh in on your top 5 or however many Christmas films, let us know if there's some overlap with us. Let us know if you're completely different. We want to hear from you. We also want you to like, follow, subscribe, check out our social links below. Give us a good rate and review wherever you listen to us. We do really appreciate it. And check out our Patreon page. It's ways for you to get bonus content, whether that be the occasional video stream of special occurring episodes of ours, whether it be inputs on vote options, whether it be increased voting power. We do just appreciate those that help support the show. Thank you to our existing patrons, and thank you for those who are considering joining our Patreon. And until next episode, which will probably be news related, I'm assuming, but we do have some fun Christmas stuff coming up.
All kinds of it.
Yes.
I mean, not really, but
some.
There's some coming. And some National Treasure coming.
Yeah.
And some Avatar coming.
Oh, I should have put National Treasure on my top 5.
You should have.
Watch it every Christmas morning.
It's too late.
Before we open gifts, we have to watch it every year.
I mean, really, if you want to talk about like holiday Christmas, like Star Wars always came out around Christmas.
Yeah.
Didn't Lord of the Rings?
Enough, with Nicolas Cage, there's a Nicolas Cage movie that is a Christmas movie, and it's called like The Family Man or something, where he's like kind of this corporate stooge and he's a jerk, and then he wakes up one morning and then it turns out he actually did marry his high school sweetheart, and he's got like kids in a minivan or something like that. And I watched it once and I thought it was meh, but
don't you watch Lord of the Rings every Christmas?
Not every Christmas, but I try to.
Yeah. Is that in the cards?
I don't know if it is, just because we recently reviewed them, so I'm not sure. Like I'm probably open to it happening, but I have no imminent plans yet. But It is a fun seasonal tradition for sure.
Yeah. Well, how much more Christmas magic do you get?